Taiwan is situated in the circum-Pacific seismic zone with fragile geology and steep slopelands. In addition, Taiwan is geographically in the plum rainforest zone as well as in the path of western Pacific typhoons. The typhoons and extremely heavy rains bring abundant precipitation, which leads to debris flows. After the Disaster Prevention and Protection Act was passed in 2000, the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau became the central administrative unit for debris flow disaster prevention and rescue. Charged with the planning of the overall framework for the debris flow disaster prevention tasks, the Debris Flow Disaster Prevention Center of the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau investigates potential debris flow torrents, identifies scope of influence, and lists secured local residents. It further carries out the emergency and responsive measures as well as the tasks including recoveries and reconstructions in the 4 stages of debris flow disaster management: usual disaster mitigation, preparedness for disaster, response to disaster, and disaster recovery. Once the Central Weather Bureau announces a typhoon warning, the Central Disaster Emergency Operations Center, CDEOC, which is formed by various government departments, begins operating, immediately followed by the configuration of the Debris Flow Disaster Emergency Action Team by the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau. This action team is deployed in any of 3 levels as follows. The 3rd level deployment is exercised when extremely heavy rain warning or sea warning for typhoon is announced. The 2nd level deployment when sea warning for typhoon is announced. The 1st level deployment is exercised as the most urgent level when land warning for a typhoon is announced. In whichever case, the 24-hour rotational action team is deployed. The rotating persons fill out the deployment checklist. Pending the SWCB Director General's approval, the Center convenes a Disaster Prevention and Response Council, notifying each sub-bureau of various tasks for preparedness to check the following. 1. Running communication tests with all regional offices of emergency operation centers. 2. Notifying the contact person at each location for disaster emergency and press releases. 3. Conducting safety inspection of ongoing construction engineering processes. 4. Standby of heavy construction equipment. During the emergency operation, the on-duty personnel continue in monitoring the precipitation at each location and giving debris flow warnings in a timely manner. If the forecasted rainfall exceeds the rainfall threshold value for the debris flow warning, a yellow alarm is issued, against which the local governments make persuasion for evacuation. If the actual rainfall exceeds the rainfall threshold value for debris flow warning, a red alarm is issued immediately, requesting the local governments to effect compulsory evacuation of people to safe shelters depending on the situation. Since 2001, the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau has developed a standard operation procedure for debris flow disaster response system to increase the accuracy of the warning issuance with the efficiency of emergency response. Annual review sessions seek to simplify the operation procedures and increase the efficiencies by information technologies. In the debris flow disaster response system, the warning issuing function module is developed in tandem with the debris flow warning analysis and issuance SOP by the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau. Through this system, meteorological data, precipitations in site locations, and information received on rainfall forecasts are integrated. In order to have a comprehensive understanding of the dynamic scenes at time of debris flow occurrence, the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau sets up fixed debris flow observatories. Mobile observatories also record potential debris flow torrent areas to gather the information when debris flow occurs. All observatories use state-of-the-art gauge instruments. On-site satellite images are transmitted back to the debris flow disaster response system, and again through the system used by the on-duty personnel as reference for debris flow warning analysis for announcing yellow or red warning zones of debris flow in a timely manner. Meanwhile, historical incidents and expert knowledge are incorporated to develop the learning and risk assessment mode for debris flow warning, to elevate through objective analysis and learning feedback the issuing precision of debris flow warning. When announcing red and yellow warning zones, the Emergency Action Team can use automatic warning issuance procedure of the debris flow disaster response system. In such procedure, the notices of warning issuance are transmitted step by system fax, message service, and telephone to the CDEOC and Disaster Emergency Operations Centers in all counties, cities, and towns. Messages are also conveyed to the public through media assistance. Mobile phone messaging is used to notify designated emergency contacts, village leaders, and debris flow on-site monitors, also requesting their assistance informing local residents in warning zones. Once urgent disaster reports are filed, the Debris Flow Disaster Emergency Action Team phones each sub-bureau. The notification calls are documented in the Debris Flow Disaster Response System. The surveyors for each sub-bureau discuss task division with officials representing township, city, and county governments as to disaster site containment. Disaster reports are wirelessly transmitted as fast as they can. Remotely piloted vehicle, RPV, is used to film real-time events on the inaccessible sites of severe debris flow disaster. Subsequently, Google Earth, as a debris flow disaster management platform, integrates all data from current disaster information, historical incidents, on-site disaster surveys, and aerial photos. The direct geographical locations related to the disaster are displayed through visualized platform system so that rescues and post-disaster analysis have better performances, effectively enhancing the results of the Debris Flow Disaster Management in Soil and Water Conservation Bureau. According to SOP, whenever a Debris Flow Disaster Emergency Action Team is set up, the activation of Debris Flow Disaster Action Mechanism follows, which reports the disaster and information of debris flow warning to the Disaster Emergency Operations Centers of the central and all tiers of local governments via the Debris Flow Disaster Response System available on the Internet. Also, to provide accurate information in a timely manner, the Debris Flow Disaster Emergency Action Team gives debris flow reports on a regular basis, providing the public with prevention information related to the current debris flow. Efforts in disaster response preparedness provide the public with the ability to protect the safety of their own lives.